Hi, I'm Mr. Townsend. In this lesson we're going to learn how to change a drum head and tune a drum. So let's start by looking at this high tom here. So just for instance, say the drum head is worn out and we need to take the drum head off and put a new drum head back on. Other cases may be the drum's got wet and there's moisture inside the shell, so we need to take the head off and clean out the drum. So for any reason, we're going to learn how to take the head off. We need to start by getting a drum key, a drummer's best friend. So we need to start by loosening off these tension rods. And the tension rods are these bits here. They're basically screws that keep the drum skin tight. These are lugs, and on this drum I've got 6 of these going round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at this drum here, there's actually 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's even more on the bass drum. On my snare drum, I'm not very sure, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you're looking at a drum and it's called a 10 lug drum, that's what it means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 screws. 8 screws, and on here, only 6. So it'll be a little bit easier to change. So take your drum key, pop it on the tuning tension rod, or tuning rod, and loosen it off. I'm just going to take it fully off like that. I'm actually grabbing the tension rod and spinning it like that, and the weight of the drum key will help it to spin round. I'm going to avoid going round in a circle. I'm going to do like a star shape, so I'm going to go across, spin it round, start again. So imagine you've gone like that, and loosen this off. I'm going to go across again, and then across. When they are all loose, we can lift off the hoop and pop that down somewhere safe. Now, a little tip, as you're putting it down, if you spin the hoop, it will make all the screws go to an angle and it'll stop them from popping out. So, just like that. There we go, and then it's ready to put back on later. So we'll take the drum head off. Check inside the drum. It's always good to check these screws inside because of the vibration of the drum. They do sometimes come loose, so just double check everything inside, but never do them too tight because you'll crack the shell. That's all good. If it's been a while since you've done this, there might be dust inside, so just give it a wipe. Some people do use furniture polish and things like that. I don't tend to do that. Just be aware when the drum's in this state, it's quite vulnerable. If you drop this, the metal hoop's not going to protect this, and it is a very thin shell. You don't want to drop anything on this. This is called the bearing edge, the edge of the drum where the head sits. It's quite delicate there, so just be very careful. So get your new drum head, and we're going to put it back on the shell. Now, if you like everything to be smart and straight, a good tip is to find the badge of the drum, and you want the logo of the drum head to line up with the badge. Just looks nice and neat then. So drum head set on. If you're getting a new drum head and you think you've got the wrong size, if there's any movement in the head, you know it's probably the wrong size. This is a 12-inch drum, so this is a 12-inch drum head. It fits very nice. If it's too small, you know it's not going to be right. If it's not the right size. So pop that back on. Hoop like this. Line it up with the lugs, as we said before. There's 6 of them. Make sure the drum head's sat nicely. It's not at an angle. Then we put this tension rods back on finger tight. So just with your fingers. It's really important that we only do it just finger tight. When I'm doing it, just turning it as soon as it hits the washer there, just leaving it. So we are not going to tune the drum now, we are just putting the head and the hoop back on. So I'll just go around, finger tight. And if you can see, I'm doing across again, so I'm doing this one and this one. So when I'm turning them, it's pulling the hoop down evenly. If you were to put loads of tension on this one, it would bring the hoop up and it could stretch the head or damage the head, and it's not going to be in tune. So now they're all finger tight, and we'll start to hear a bit of tension in the head, and it'll start to sound like a drum. I mean, already that does sound very nice. If we want it to be higher pitched, we need to turn these tuning rods to tighten the hoop, to tighten the skin. So like we did before when we took the head off, we're in the star pattern. So imagine we've got a pencil here, to there, to there. There we go. So sometimes people number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good tip if you don't mind drawing on your drum head. I'm not going to draw on this one. So let's tune the drum. What we want to do is quarter turns, which will be that. No more than that. You don't want to be turning it like a screw. Just small turns. Little turn to this one. Small turns, and you'll feel the tuning rods getting tighter. So if I do that again and gently tap the drum, you'll hear the pitch going up. There we go. So the drum is tuned. What we can do now is do some fine tuning, going round the head. So we can actually hear that that's slightly higher pitched than these two. So I'm just going to tighten that one up a little bit. And so on. It's not essential that we get each one perfect. As you're playing the drum, it will change, and these will loosen off. The drum head stretches as well. If it's a brand new head, what I like to do is, if I've got a concert the next day or a recording session, I change my drum heads the day before. So I will put the drum heads on, tighten them up, leave them, because by the time we get to the studio the next day, the drum heads will have stretched a little bit and you'll need to retune them all again. So good drum heads to use are Remo and Evans. There's another company called Aquarium. These are a brand from Australia called Kentville Drums. These are a different type of head. But yeah, I usually stick with either Remo or Evans. They're always a good choice. So let's listen to the drum on its stand. Now I've actually gone for a jazz sound, which is usually a more high-pitched sound. If you want a rock sound, you might want to keep the drums quite loose to get that deep rock sound. I do save this drum kit for jazz. So let's listen to it. So there we go. That's changing the drum head, putting the drum head back on and tuning. Just remember, don't turn these too tight, and when you are turning them, do the star pattern so you know it's equally tuning. And remember, just quarter turns. So a couple of reminders and tips. Just remember, when you're tuning the drum, don't do it too tight. Don't put loads of tension on one lug and then go to the next one. It's going to stretch the drum head, it's not going to be in tune. Quarter turns, nice little turns in the star shape, like that. And you're good to go. Sometimes nice as well just to put a bit of pressure on, just to check it's seated nicely. There we go. If you want a higher sound, turn them a bit more. If you want a lower sound, loosen them off. Thank you.